If you're looking to replace the back window of your truck topper and you want to do it yourself, this video might be helpful for you. It has been a year and a half since I replaced this window on the Wildernest, and I did it with Plexiglass, and I'm really happy with it. So here's the basic steps of what I did. Clearly they're all constructed differently, but mine was held together mostly with 4 rivets on this bottom metal piece. So I drilled out the rivets and then scraped away the remaining broken glass inside of the frame. I did remove the latch, but this ended up being a mistake that I didn't realize until I got to the end. Then I created a cardboard template. I started with one piece of cardboard that was smaller than the window. I set it inside of the frame, traced out one of the curves, and cut the piece away. I repeated this step for the other side, and then I taped the 2 pieces together. Doing it this way ensures that you have the perfect size template to fit inside that frame. I was able to get a discount on this large piece of plexiglass because it had a broken corner. Now, I may not have chosen to do this repair myself if I had to pay full price for this. I highly recommend you wear safety glasses while you cut plexiglass. I'm not sure what the exact correct way is to cut it, but if you're using a circular saw or a similar method, it tends to chip and want to shatter. By the way, if you do know the correct way to cut plexiglass, please put that in the comments. After a little bit of tracing and some more cutting, I finally had a perfect fitting piece to slide inside the frame, and this thing fit like a glove. This was the moment that I knew I saved myself a bunch of money. The next step was to reapply the seal. Mine was in decent enough condition that I decided to reuse it. And finally I got to the point where I could put everything back together with rivets. And I didn't know it at the time, but rivets are very versatile, they create very strong bonds, and they're fairly easy to use. At this point, I attempted to retrofit a new latch, but it just didn't work, so I reinstalled the old one. The last step for the plexiglass was to remove the protective coating. Now, I waited until the last minute because I was afraid of scratching the plexiglass while I was working on it, but it did make it a little bit more difficult to remove. I don't drive quite as much as most people, but this thing has held up through everything I've done, all the off-road driving, highway driving, opening and closing and loading all of the firewood and camping gear and everything else. It does have a little bit of a wiggle to it because obviously plexiglass doesn't have the rigidity that glass does, but that doesn't seem to be a problem. You can see I did put a custom decal on it, or rather Jeremy did. I told him I wanted some mountains, a river, and some trees, and bam, he printed it out and slapped it on there, and I think it looks awesome. I'm super happy with it. I have actually gone through 2 sets of gas struts with this thing. I'm not sure if that's because the first set I bought was underpowered or just because it was the cheapest item available. But the first set was 20 pounds per strut, and they lasted almost a year, and they actually failed at the exact same time. And then I upgraded to the 40 pounds per strut. So if you're gonna do your own, I recommend buy the 40 pounds, and I'll put a link below to the ones that I purchased. So there you go, fix your own truck. Don't pay somebody to do it if you can do it yourself. If you want more content like this, subscribe. If you know somebody that can benefit from this, share it, and I'll see you in the next one.
Lay every trophy down in the ground. Ooh. And now I have heard a sound in my waking dreams. Someone's father was calling out, here come 819. Oh, was it the hammer through the floorboards, or the rumble of the train, or the thunder of the engine through the silence of a name? And all these horses, they're rolling on, till all the broken, we're going home. Oh, 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 oh. name.